Welcome back to more Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Last time we got through the Feather Cup, so this time we're finishing up Wave 5. 3 new characters were added to this wave, so this time we'll be playing as Kamek using our standard kart configuration. Next up is the Cherry Cup. First up is Los Angeles Laps from Mario Kart Tour. From what I've read online, this might be the most polarizing course of this wave. A lot of people love this one, and a lot of people also hate this one. Personally, as someone who has played this course in Tour and has some familiarity with it, I actually like it a lot. Again, these can be very overwhelming at first, but having some knowledge of the course's layout definitely helps a lot with understanding how the different routes work. We start out on the Santa Monica Pier, and then go along the beach here with these little ramps along with a half pipe up ahead. I have to admit though, as someone who grew up in California and has been to LA a couple of times throughout my life, the sky is way too blue here. There's not nearly enough smog to be realistic. Jokes aside, I do like the atmosphere of this course. I do like how it's a lot more tropical than some of the other city courses we've had so far, and it helps it to stand out among the other city courses in this wave. We're now heading over to the city here, so up ahead we should have a glide ramp that'll take us through Dodger Stadium, which is a very nice touch, and also reminds me that we haven't gotten a Mario baseball game since the Wii. I'm actually kind of surprised, though, given the current state of Mario sports games. I'm not entirely sure if that's something I want, given how a lot of them feel very rushed lately. In general, I do like a lot of the Mario sports games, even though I don't like sports in general, oddly enough, and the same actually applies to Mario Kart, where I really don't like racing games other than Mario Kart. Back on topic, we now want to go this way, and we didn't quite make that turn sadly, but luckily we still have one more lap to hopefully maintain this lead, and build up a little bit more of a lead as well. Next up we have this little drilling area up ahead. We have to dodge all of these little machines moving up and down as we make our way through here. In general, this course is fun in my opinion, but again, I can't begrudge anyone who has issues with specific tour courses. A lot of them end up being very convoluted compared to the standard courses. Again, it makes me wonder if they're planning to do transforming courses more with the next mainline Mario Kart. Like if this is sort of testing the waters for the future of the series. We have a Super Horn going into the final turn, which is both good because we can't get hit by anything, but also I kind of wish we had this sooner, as is the case with most instances where you end up getting a Super Horn. But overall, that went very smoothly to kick off this cup. Next up is Sunset Wilds from Mario Kart Super Circuit. From what I've seen, this seems to be the most disappointing course in this wave. There's a couple of reasons for that. Again, a lot of the GBA courses for Tour were actually simplified compared to how they were in Super Circuit. But also, the main gimmick of the stage is no longer present. In every other version of the stage, every time you clear a lap, the sun will actually change position. In Tour, it's actually set to a certain time, the average time for a specific lap, but the lack of a sunset mechanic in the stage has been very disappointing to people. To be honest, to play devil's advocate for a moment, I understand why it's not here. Dynamic lighting is surprisingly difficult to achieve because you have to make sure everything looks right with all of the different textures and everything, and it's a lot of work to go into a new lighting system for a Wii U game from 2014, which is essentially what this is. While I would have liked to have seen the sunset mechanic return, because that really helped to keep this course fresh and help it stand out from other courses like this, because there are a lot of desert courses in Mario Kart, I also can't fault the developers for not being able to include it, because it probably wouldn't be worth the amount of effort it would take to actually implement such a system. To be fair, I also wonder if they were planning to and then just realized it was impossible for some reason, given that this was actually in a very, very early leak of the Booster Course Pass. There was a very early placeholder banner where you could see a bunch of thumbnails of different courses, and one of the courses is actually Sunset Wilds. So this obviously was in the works for a while, and it makes me wonder if they were trying for a long time to get it to work, and then just couldn't find a way, and then just finally put it into this wave as a result. But again, part of me feels like if they didn't make any effort, we probably would have gotten it a little bit sooner, given that it's a fairly straightforward course. The course does look good still, though. But again, I also wish it hadn't been simplified as much. But again, that goes for like all of the GBA courses, sadly. Going into the final turn, I hope nothing goes wrong here. You can also cut a little bit of time off that corner there, and there was also a glide ramp near one of the Prospectors' tents. Also, the Shy Guys' appearances were changed dramatically for the sake of cultural appropriation, which I think was a very good call. Next is Koopa Cape from Mario Kart Wii. I'm pretty sure this was also from the same banner leak from Sunset Wilds, actually, so we've also known about this for a long time. This was actually a very early Wii course in Tour, from my understanding, and it actually is slightly different from the Wii version in a few ways, because of some mechanics working a little bit differently. To be honest, I feel like I careen all over the place in this course. Again, the Wii courses just end up being very cursed for me, so we'll have to see how this goes. I hope this doesn't go too badly. We do have the little trick ramps like so, but don't be surprised if I crash a lot throughout this course. I do feel like I have to brake a lot in this course. I can't even imagine doing this in 200cc. And then we have this little downhill section in the tunnel, which is a little bit different. I think this is also the case in Tour as well, where in the Wii version, there's actually Sparkies rotating around the tube, and they can actually shrink you, similar to the Lightning. But in, I think, Tour, and in this version, obviously, we don't have those, which is kind of a bummer, but instead we have the little trick ramp partway through. We have a blue shell coming up. Again, the indicators for attacking items are a little bit earlier than they used to be pre-patch, but again, in a lot of cases I almost feel like it just messes up like Super Horn timings. Again, assuming that's the one blue shell for this race, that's actually good to get out of the way this early into lap 2, meaning we have plenty of time to maintain our lead. Again, I feel like the AI can be very inconsistent. Sometimes they're riding your heels the entire time, other times you can get hit by multiple blue shells and still maintain first place. Also new to this is obviously the little, like, speed up bumpers here for the anti-gravity section, because there is no anti-gravity in Mario Kart Tour. In general, I do like this course. To be honest, I would have preferred some other Wii courses. Like, I know the Daisy track in Wii was recently added to Tour. Is it just Daisy Circuit? I actually don't remember the name, but the one at Sunset. I actually really like that course, and I kind of wish that was here instead, but then I almost feel like you run into a problem, and you have this a little bit with the Moonview Highway as well, where the Mario Kart courses that are cities kind of feel like they're redundant, given that we have so many city courses in general in the Booster Course Pass. So again, I get why they're generally favoring non-city courses for the Mario Kart themed ones, but again, I kind of wish we had gotten that track instead, but again, this one apparently also had been planned for a very long time. I wonder how much of it had to do with getting all of the trick ramps to work properly, because that is a new mechanic to the Booster Course Pass. That went very smoothly, and I'm actually kind of surprised given how much this course usually gives me a ton of grief. Finally, we have Vancouver Velocity from Mario Kart Tour. This is actually a fan favorite from Tour, and was one of the most anticipated courses for the Booster Course Pass. To be honest, a lot of people actually thought it would be in Wave 6 just because of how, one, how desired it is, and two, it'd be seasonally appropriate having this in winter, given that this is very much a snowy Canadian stage. I like how the two city courses for the cities I've actually been to are in the same wave. That's actually in the same cup even, so that's very interesting to me. I have been to Vancouver once in my life. It was not a great trip because I had like a really upset stomach the entire time, so I didn't really enjoy sightseeing and everything. But we have this little anti-gravity section along this little suspension bridge that definitely doesn't look like it would pass any safety codes in real life. And we'll glide over to the city itself. I do like this course. I do have to admit a lot of the buildings feel a little bit flat to me. But again, a lot of times I'm not really a stickler for the graphics in these courses. As long as they're fun to race through, I actually don't mind too much. And this one does have a very unique gimmick, kind of like a couple of the other courses we've seen in this wave, where we've had some terrain changes, which has actually been somewhat refreshing. I wonder if this is based on a particular park in Vancouver, in which case I would have actually been to this park. Again, I don't know how many famous parks there would be in Vancouver to actually theme that off of, but we also have this little hockey rink over here that we have to carefully drive through as the Shy Guys are performing a little routine through here. This might be one of the longer lap 2s for a city course. This one actually takes a bit to drive through. Again, a lot of the lap 2s end up being very short. Like I remember Sydney, I want to say, has a very short lap 2 compared to lap 1 and 3. Actually, I think Sydney might have a really long lap 2. Yeah, I want to say one of them, the lap 2 is like really fast. One thing I really don't like about the Tropical Bananas is how easy it is for red shells to slip through them like that. You might as well drop all the bananas like so, just to create a barrier to buy us a little bit of time as we have to recover from the blue shell. We have just enough time to regain speed as long as we don't get hit by anything else, and we're coming up on the final few turns over here. I also feel like this is one of the more cohesive courses. I feel like LA, as an example, is a course where you load into the stage for the first time, look over at the minimap, and just feel overwhelmed, like a sense of dread trying to parse everything. But Vancouver feels a lot more straightforward by comparison. But overall, that cup went very, very smoothly. Again, I actually find this to be another fairly consistent cup, even though I don't think there are any huge standouts. All of these courses, in my opinion, are fun, again, even though I do wish Sunset Wilds had retained its original gimmick, even though, again, I understand why it's this way. But yeah, all these courses are just pretty okay, but not like outstanding, but there's no real duds either. And once again, we have 3 stars and a gold trophy. It's actually kind of hard to believe that unless they pull a Smash Ultimate and announce a second booster course pass, which again, I wouldn't even be opposed to given how many courses are still stuck in Tour. Like if they extended it, I wouldn't be opposed. There are a lot of courses like Airship Fortress from DS, and a couple more of the N64 courses I'd love to see brought over at some point. But again, assuming Wave 6 actually is the final wave, we are almost to the end of this playthrough. So next time we'll go through whatever courses they add, whenever that may be. So thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time for more Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.